showed up for work in the U.S. Capitol with their foam mattresses and toothbrushes, saying they would rather live in their offices than rent an apartment and lay down roots in the swamp that was Washington. Like a liberating army, they would secure the place and then be gone. But it didn't take Kinzinger long to see an ugly, irrational side to many of his Tea Party allies. They scorned him for siding with Republican leadership in debates over spending. Fiscal hawks like Paul Ryan, a 41-year-old rising star from Wisconsin, were calling for enormous cuts to social programs, and yet hard-right Tea Party members wanted to cut even more. In an attempt to punish Kinzinger for the perceived betrayal, activists leaked his cell phone number online, along with the numbers of other members who had gone along with the smaller cuts. Looking back on the incident years later, he realized that this was when he could see the movement was more reactionary and vindictive than what he had signed up for. The beginning of the new Tea Party, he says. Whether it was the portent of something new or the moment the pretenses about the Tea Party's true character fell away, Republicans like Kinzinger could no longer deny that the insurgency they rode to power was turning on their party from within. Kinzinger had grown alarmed about what might happen on January 6th as it became clear that President Donald Trump and his supporters would not accept defeat. He saw how Trump's most devoted followers weren't becoming less enamored with him. Instead, they were taking up his latest rallying cry, "Stop the steal," just as they had with his others, like "build the wall" and "lock her up." The phrase wasn't new to Trump. His most enterprising co-conspirator in claiming he'd been cheated, Roger Stone, had used it in 2016 in a campaign that accused establishment Republicans of trying to deny Trump the nomination. After multiple people were stabbed at a pro-Trump rally in Washington in December, Kinzinger thought the president's insistence that he had been cheated of victory had gone beyond self-indulgent delusion. It might get someone killed. And the rally scheduled for the 6th, billed as the Save America rally, seemed like the place Kinzinger thought it might happen, since that was the day the United States Congress would make official the reality that Trump and his followers refused to accept. Is it really that crazy to think that one or two of them will take the law into their own hands when you have the first, second, and third in the line of succession to the presidency within a few feet of each other, he thought? He also worried that some of his Republican colleagues were inflaming the situation by lending credence to Trump's lies about votes that were supposedly flipped by hackers or cast by dead people. Almost 140 of them in the House had already decided that they would object to declaring President-elect Joseph R. Biden Jr. the winner. "Look, you guys need to stop this shit," Kinzinger had chastised his fellow Republicans on a conference call as the certification vote loomed. "There is going to be violence." The Republican leader, Representative Kevin McCarthy of California, was not eager to open the floor up to a debate over Kinzinger's concerns. "Thanks, Adam," McCarthy responded. Then he asked the operator to patch through the next member in the queue. Kinzinger's wife had asked him about joining him at the Capitol to watch as Congress and the Vice President, in his constitutional role as President of the Senate, carried out their formal duties in the process of finalizing the election. They were to begin the process of counting the electoral votes from all 50 states and the District of Columbia at 1 p.m., after which they were expected to affirm that Biden had won a majority. This procedure had gone off with only minor hiccups since Congress started doing it in the mid-20th century. But Kinzinger told his wife to stay home. He also told his staff not to come into the office. And he packed his pistol, an older .38 caliber Ruger LCP, before leaving. Like many who were there that day, Kinzinger recalls an almost bestial energy hanging in the air. "I felt a real darkness over the place that I'd never felt before," he says. Later, after speaking to law enforcement officers who were on the scene, he recalls that one told him, "We felt a lot of evil out there." The chaos that had been building up gradually over the course of the morning erupted around 2 p.m., less than an hour after Trump closed out his speech by telling the crowd to join their president and march on the Capitol. "Let's walk down Pennsylvania Avenue," he said. And together, they would give the Republicans he called weak a dose of courage. The kind of pride and boldness that they need.